Welcome back, you guys. Okay, so a few weeks back, I did a video on saving money in the kitchen, and that video took off. And for my little channel, it was a lot of views. So I just wanted to come on here and say thank you. And I said I would do a part two. So here I am. If you are new, my name is Nadia. I'm a mama to 5, and I'm a homemaker of 10 years now. So the kitchen is my domain, and I have some tips to share with you guys. So thank you for joining me today. We are cooking our Shabbat dinner. So we are cooking chicken curry, and that is what you see me doing in the background. So I'm glad that you guys are listening to today. So let's just start off. I'm going to go through these. I have 11 tips today. And number 1 is to make your own bread products. Okay, so I have been making sourdough for the past 5 years, but prior to that, I used to make regular yeast bread. And I have been making my bread products basically ever since I could remember because my mom used to do it. But this has saved us lots and lots of money. And I know this because there was a season where we were buying bread. And it is expensive. Even now, still occasionally we'll buy bread and it's like $5 for a bag of bread, or bagels that are like $6. So I highly recommend learning to make your own bread products and doing it weekly, maybe if you need to. Okay, number 2, make your own dessert. Now, this one's funny for me because if you know me, you know I do not like to bake because you have to measure precisely, and that is just not my thing. But I do occasionally bake, and so does my husband, and this has saved us lots of money. Now, a lot of these are kind of a twofold for us and have also like saved us money, but also there's some reasoning behind why we do some of these things, and that is a lot of it is the ingredients that are in these products. So dessert is definitely one of them. I mean, if you look at a store-bought dessert, there's just so much stuff you can't even pronounce. So number 3 is to freeze meals and have freezer meals. I do this in different seasons of my life. I do it postpartum, or when I'm entering a postpartum stage, during busy seasons, and during calm seasons. They are just so helpful. Sometimes when it's a busy season, I start thinking about dinner only 30 minutes before it needs to be served. So the ones that are easy, like dump and go Instant Pot meals, are phenomenal. So highly recommend them. All right, number 4 is to cook most of your food from scratch. This is self-explanatory. I see myself saving a lot of money by not going out, not buying convenience food, and just making stuff from home. It takes me a little bit of extra time, but it pays off, trust me. All right, number 5 is to eat seasonally. So naturally, foods that are in their prime time in their season will cost less. My tip with this is I like to can stuff that is in season. I like to put it in the freezer, and I obviously like to use it as much as possible during that season. So I notice a lot of the times we will consume a vegetable or whatever during that season, and we kind of don't even really want it during winter. But if I do want it, it's in the freezer. So number 6 would be to grate your own cheese. This is like the twofold one for me. We don't buy grated cheese due to its coating that is added to it, and then also because we like to save the money. And freshly grated cheese tastes so much better, especially Parmesan. So we buy ours from either Costco or AZURE Standard. I'll leave my link for AZURE Standard down below, and you guys can check out all the different cheeses. Okay, let's move on. Number 7 is to make your own juice. Now, this will obviously cost a little bit upfront if you are wanting to buy a juicer, but I recommend looking on Facebook Marketplace or your local thrift store. Usually can find a really good deal. My son is in charge of the juicing in our home, and he really enjoys it. And it's really nice to get high quality juice that in the store would probably cost you like $6, like the really nice clean juices, with turmeric, ginger, kale, and like apples, and all organic. So we like to juice. We also once a year like to make compote. So that's basically like you cook your cherries in like sugar syrup kind of thing. I heavily dilute it once I actually serve it. But the nice thing about this, it's canned, so you can have it throughout the year. All right, number 8 is to make your own dressing. Again, twofold. Don't like the ingredients in the store-bought, so I make my own. I have learned to make ranch. I have learned to make mayo, ketchup, barbecue sauce, and like different oil dressings. So that is number 8. Number 9 is to make your own seasoning mix. So I'm talking about ranch mix, chicken rub, taco seasoning. Like I buy my bulk spices and herbs, the dried herbs from AZURE, and then they get it shipped to me, and I always have it on hand. So that's really nice to put together. All right, moving along to number 10 is make extra food for lunch. So I have leftovers all the time for my husband to take to work. Well, in this past season, I haven't, but prior to that, and I'm improving now, we most of the time have lunch for my husband to take to work, which is a huge money saver. So moving on to number 11 is to mill your own flour. Again, initial front up cost, but the benefits outweigh and it eventually pays off for itself. I have a link down below for the mill that I use, but we mill our own flour for pancakes, for muffins, for bread, and it gives us a higher nutrient dense. I don't know if you can hear my kids in the background. A higher nutrient dense flour, and we actually get all the benefits from more flour. So that is it for today's video. Thank you guys for making dinner with me. Thank you for chatting with me. I'd love to hear some of your tips, and I will see you guys in the next video. Do not forget to subscribe and give this video a thumbs up. Bye-bye.